Days of Our Lives, spoilers for the next 2 weeks, July 21st to August 1st, reveal that Marlena Evans will kick off a mystery related to Stefano Di Mera, while Sarah Horton Kyriakis kisses Brady Black after Gabi Hernandez seduces Xander Kyriakis. Susan Banks will also have a plan, so let's talk about what's in store. The week of July 21st-25 will bring Stephanie Johnson's freak out, so she may suddenly deal with some nerves about her book getting published, and the possibility that her true author status will leak. Doug Williams III will also go on an apology tour once Ariana Ari Horton and Holly Jonas are safe. After Doug voices his regrets over the kidnapping chaos, he'll apologize to Julie Williams over the necklace next. Once Doug's done trying to make amends, he'll leave Salem behind and keep his end of the bargain he made with Tate Black. Speaking of Tate, he'll be blindsided when Sophia claims she already had the baby and gave her away to the adoptive couple she found in Chicago. The story will be bogus since Sophia actually had a baby boy and left him in the safe haven box before Javi Hernandez got him out. Both Tate and Brady will be confused over why Sophia would hand over the baby to a new family without consulting Tate first. Since EJ Di Mera wants to clear Johnny Di Mera's name, he'll try hypnosis with Marlena in hopes of making that happen. As for Gwen von Leuschner, her presence will make some waves in the Di Mera mansion. Gwen will cross paths with Brady and Rachel Black there before getting under Gabi's skin in the town square. Duel fans can expect Gwen to make a surprising discovery along the way, so she'll have more opportunities to scheme. Once Susan returns to Days, she'll have an idea on how to assist Johnny. Susan's plans don't always work out as well as she hoped, but Johnny may appreciate the fact that his grandma's looking out for him. Once Johnny's trial gets underway, Marlena will keel over in the courtroom and leave Belle Black alarmed. Days spoilers say Marlena will be taken to the hospital for further testing, but it'll be a medical mystery since her previous blood work came back clean. Marlena will begin to dream about some past Stefano drama at some point, so she'll recall being his Queen of the Night. Whatever's wrong with Marlena may tie in with revisiting that storyline, so stay tuned for updates on any other puzzle pieces that'll pop up. During the week of July 28th and August 1st, Johnny's trial will press on and bring some difficult testimonies. Rachel will fear that her own time on the stand will result in Johnny landing behind bars. Of course, it's possible that Rachel herself is to blame for shooting EJ if she blocked out that memory. It's worth keeping in mind since Belle will soon suspect that Marlena is withholding information about the real culprit. Days spoilers say Gabi will try to help Tony regain control of Di Mera with some dirty tricks, including seducing Xander and eventually Philip Kyriakis. After Gabi plants a kiss on Xander at the bistro, Sarah will spot it and kiss Brady in retaliation. Xander won't approve, so he'll get into a physical confrontation with Brady as the hostility boils over. Gabi will put her seduction skills to good use on Philip in the coming weeks as well, but she may find herself torn if real feelings develop. Days of Our Lives, spoilers reveal that we've got some comings and goings news to pass along. So let's start with Peyton Meyer's final air date since Doug's about to exit the show. After Holly Jonas and Ariana Ari Horton make it out of their kidnapping ordeal alive, they'll have a chance to put Doug on full blast for dragging them into his loan shark drama. From there, Doug will keep his promise to Tate Black and pack his bags for an abrupt exit. Days spoilers say Doug will deliver one last apology to Julie Williams before heading out of town on Friday, July 25th. Meanwhile, Stacey Hyduck will step back into Susan Banks' shoes for a bit, since Johnny Di Mera's grandma will return on a mission to help him. Susan is known for her premonitions and inklings, so we'll see if those play a role in her assistance. Regardless, Days spoilers say Susan will come back in the July 25 episode as well, so that'll be a big day in Salem. Since Johnny's trial is about to get underway, look for Carol Foreman to play Judge Dabney. Plenty of legal mayhem is brewing, and so is Marlena Evans' medical mystery, since she'll lose consciousness in the courtroom. Rachel Black will also remain part of Johnny's storyline and will deal with guilt over having to testify against him, so Duel fans can expect more drama for her soon. Next, Melinda Trask will make more Days appearances to scheme with Sophia Choi, while Tony Di Mera continues his latest run with some scheming of his own. It won't be long until Tony summons Gabi Hernandez for a meeting and discusses a mutually beneficial arrangement, one that could mean taking Xander Kyriakis and Philip Kyriakis down. Days of Our Lives spoilers are in for the week of July 21st, 2025. Fans can expect Melinda Trask to come up with a new plan for Sophia Choi. Kayla Johnson blows up at EJ Dimera. Also, Ari Horton and Holly Jonas get their freedom back. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. Let's start off with Marlena Evans, who has been mourning the loss of John Black. Doc did get some blood work done, but Sarah Horton Kyriakis said everything seemed fine. The psychiatrist did confess that she hasn't been eating or sleeping well since losing her husband, so the doctor figured it was from Marlena's grief. However, a preview clip shows Marlena collapsing during Johnny DiMera's attempted murder trial. Next up, we have Ari and Holly. A thug has kidnapped the recent high school graduates due to Doug Williams III not paying up. Holly was talking about everything except their current situation. It was Ari who has been keeping a level head and telling Holly that they can't just wait to be saved. They need to find a way out of there now. Meanwhile, Tate Black is getting a little help from Rafe Hernandez. While Rafe and Tate search, Doug goes to say a bittersweet farewell to Julie Williams. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of July 21st reveal that Gwen Rischek von Leuschner bickers with Leo Stark again. Later, Gwen makes a jaw-dropping discovery. Could Gwen's necklace vanish and land in Julie's hands? Philip Kyriakis and Xander Cook Kyriakis continue to argue. Later, Xander decides to allow Sarah to visit their daughter. Gwen will also get into a heated confrontation with Gabi. Afterward, Tony DiMera has a proposition for Gabi. Brady Black offers his support to Tate. Elsewhere, Melinda has a new cover story for Sophia. Also, Kayla blows up at EJ DiMera. Could the university hospital doctors quit over EJ's extreme cuts? In any case, EJ does go to get some help later in the week. Expect him to chat with Marlena, but will he take her professional advice? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of July 21st, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on Peacock to find out what happens next. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers are in for the week of July 21st, 2025. Fans can expect Marlena Evans to have a health scare. Holly Jonas and Ari Horton get out of their dangerous situation. Plus, Gwen Rischek von Leuschner and Gabi Hernandez have conflict. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. Let's begin with Marlena, who has been grieving John Black. The psychiatrist had a checkup with Sarah Horton Kyriakis, who didn't find anything wrong. Doc admitted she hasn't been eating or sleeping well since John's death. However, she will end up collapsing at Johnny DiMera's trial. It is also stated that Susan Banks will try to help Johnny. Let's move on to Ari and Holly next. Fans know that a thug for a loan shark has kidnapped the two high school graduates. Ari told Holly that they can't just wait to be rescued. They need to find a way out of there now. Meanwhile, Rafe Hernandez and Tate Black search for the girls. While they are doing that, Doug Williams III goes to say a bittersweet goodbye to Julie Williams. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of July 21st reveal that Gwen will spar with Leo once again. Later in the week, she makes a shocking discovery. Could her necklace suddenly disappear and end up back in Julie's hands? I'm wondering if before leaving Salem, Doug steals the necklace from Gwen's room and returns it to Julie. Xander Cook Kyriakis and Philip Kyriakis will continue to feud. Later, he allows Sarah to see the baby. Gwen bickers with Gabi early in the week. A short time later, Gabi will get an offer from Tony DiMera. Back to Gwen, she gets a shocking discovery later in the week. Brady Black supports Tate. Meanwhile, Melinda Trask and Sophia Choi come up with a new plan. Kayla Johnson gets fed up with EJ DiMera. Could Kayla and several other doctors quit, forcing EJ in a bad position at the hospital? In any case, EJ gets counseling from Marlena. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of July 21st, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep watching the soap on Peacock to find out what happens next. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Rachel Black could finally end the Who Shot EJ storyline. Of course, fans know that Rachel saw EJ DiMera and Johnny DiMera arguing the night he was shot. However, when Rachel takes the stand in the courtroom, she may blurt out who really shot EJ to everyone. Spoilers reveal that EJ doesn't remember who shot him. However, Rachel has been a huge part of this story since she heard EJ and Johnny fighting. Rachel has blocked out who shot EJ as well. Belle Black will suggest that EJ allow Marlena Evans to hypnotize him to help with his memory. Will he remember and force Rachel to tell the truth in court? Rachel is afraid that she will be the person who sends Johnny to prison. Rachel loves Johnny and doesn't want him to go away. Rachel doesn't want to testify at all. Since we all know that Johnny is innocent, fans are still waiting to learn who shot EJ. Will Rachel end up screaming that she is the one who shot EJ? Has Rachel already revealed this to Marlena? Marlena has been spending time with Rachel and talking with her about what happened that night. Rachel could have remembered and told Marlena some time ago. However, we have yet to see exactly what Marlena knows. EJ may remember and swear Marlena to secrecy as well. Eventually, Marlena will be interrogated about who shot EJ. The Days of Our Lives. Summer Preview and Beyond was released recently. In the video, Belle Black is seen demanding that Marlena admit that she knew who shot EJ. Marlena would not cover for too many people, especially over Johnny. Is Marlena trying to protect Rachel, who has blocked out the memory of the shooting altogether? EJ has got to prove his son's innocence in court since Belle refuses to drop the charges. EJ doesn't want to be cruel to his niece, but he has got to get the truth out somehow. Belle has already accused him of coming up with a story that he has remembered who shot him, and EJ knows that would certainly be questionable. However, if EJ leans on Rachel while she is on the stand, he may be able to jog her memory even if she does implicate herself. Will EJ push Rachel until she shout out, "I remember! It was me!" Did Rachel try to take out EJ because he had made her grandmother disappear? Will Rachel clear Johnny's name but implicate herself in the process? Someone says goodbye, someone tells a big lie, and two young women hatch an escape plan, according to the Days of Our Lives spoilers. Plus, a desperate father goes all out to save his son, while a beloved mother collapses. Here's your day's video preview for the week of July 21st to 25, 2025. One story comes to a close on days when Doug III decides to leave Salem, after his debts to a loan shark put Ari and Holly in serious danger. But before departing, he wants to make amends with someone and turns up on Julie's doorstep. "I'm really sorry," says Doug, who stole from his grandfather's widow after she welcomed him with open arms. It looks like Julie is finally open to accepting his apology and sends him off with encouraging words. "You have a great deal of potential," she tells him. After receiving Sophia's message that she's gone into labor, Tate calls to check on his baby mama. "Are you okay?" he asks her, while Brady stands by listening. Sophia is okay, but she continues to spin her lies. "I had the baby already," she responds to Tate, who can't quite believe his ears. Determined to do whatever it takes to clear Johnny of attempted murder charges, EJ heeds Belle's advice to be hypnotized by Marlena. "I'm willing to try anything to find the culprit," announces EJ, arriving at the doctor's penthouse for their session. Marlena puts EJ under, and he quickly becomes agitated. "Who are you talking to?" asks a concerned Marlena. "Tell me what you see." Two former Mrs. DiMeras come face to face. "You didn't run into him while you were living there?" asks Gabi, who's likely talking about her ex, Stefan. "It looks like Dimitri might not be the only DiMera who's gone MIA, responds Gwen. Hostages Ari and Holly are desperate to get out of the warehouse where they're being held hostage. Ari has an idea. "If we can get this grate off, we can use it to crawl our way to freedom," says Ari. Ari proceeds through the air vent first, while Holly waits to follow. But suddenly, a frightened Ari cries out, "Something's happening!" Meanwhile, Marlena, who's been lightheaded of late, collapses into Abe's arms in the courtroom. EJ and Johnny look on, and a worried Belle approaches her mother. "Mom, wake up!" she begs her. Is something seriously wrong with Marlena? Days of Our Lives spoilers photos for the July 21st, 2025 episode tease Leo and Javi in the midst of the Salem chaos. Javi is on dad duty before Gabi comes home. Later, Leo will take over dad duty while Gabi gets a relieving call. Back in her room, what is Gwen up to in her safe? It looks like she gets an idea for a new conniving scheme. Later, Leo and Gwen will have another unwanted encounter. Can Leo smooth things over with his former BFF this time? Got a soap prediction that's too good to keep? Email amber@soaphub.com and spark our upcoming discussion. Days of Our Lives is turning up the heat with explosive drama, untamed chaos, and sizzling romance. The July 25 teasers have us hanging on tight, breathless, to see which jaw-dropping twists are about to rock Salem. Gwen's return has Leo on edge. Spoilers tease the two have it out this week, and things between them remain as volatile as ever. Leo has bigger things to concentrate on. Who has time to dwell over a past friend when there's a precious baby in need of love and attention? And, let's be real here, Leo has already fallen head over heels for the sweet babe and would much rather spend time changing diapers than dealing with his former friend. While there's been nothing but peace and love between Stephanie and Alex lately, it's not going to last long. In the coming episodes, their love story is taking a turn when Alex steps out of line. Stephanie completely loses it on her main man, and she's not holding back. Will this be a make-it-or-break-it moment for the hot couple? More. Get an in-depth look at all the drama coming up next week in Salem. Nearing the end of the week, the real action begins when Johnny goes to court. With his father by his side, he's forced to defend his innocence as his trial begins. Can we expect some courthouse drama? Oh, you bet. In fact, things are taking a twisted turn that will leave everyone's jaws on the floor. Here are your Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday, July 21st, 2025. Rafe called in ISA forensic analyst Kat Green to examine the photo Doug received of Ari and Holly with a fine-tooth comb. He knew that if anyone could figure out where the teens were, Kat could do it. And she did. She called Rafe within minutes to tell him she knew exactly where that picture was taken. Meanwhile, Felicity handed Tate a ring she found outside the gymnastics camp. She insisted the ring belonged to Holly. Since Kat recognized the area, could Ari and Holly be at a gymnastics gym? Gabi hopes they are somewhere close, as she seems to have a panic attack with Javi. He comforts his cousin and assures her that everything will be okay while Holly and Ari work to free themselves. However, that will be easier said than done and lead the girls into an even more precarious situation. Will Rafe and Tate get to them on time? After comforting Gabi and sending her home from work, Xander has an encounter with his brother that he won't soon forget. The brothers can't seem to get along no matter what, but who can blame them? They have both done some awful things to each other this year, but at least Philip didn't beat Xander to within an inch of his life. Both Philip and Xander have things to hold over the others' heads, but at least they have one goal: keeping Titan afloat no matter what. That means they have to get along. When Xander makes that task harder than ever, will Philip consider what Sarah offered? She wants him to tell the truth about what Xander did, and she will make sure he reaps the rewards. Philip refused, but if Xander keeps pushing his buttons, Sarah might have just what she needs to win her custody fight hands down. Xander might want to keep his cool if he truly wants to ever see his daughter again. Days of Our Lives has a courtroom now, and we think that should be the big breaking Salem Spectator news of the week. And in that courtroom, one of the Spectator's reporters will be serving on the jury of a case he has been reporting on for months. That should make things interesting, if not a little ridiculous as well. Let's unpack it all now. For the last decade or so, not a single court case in Salem has taken place in a courtroom. From murder trials to custody trials and everything in between, we got to watch all the drama unfold in the very small judges' chambers. Seeing a courtroom again was exciting. Seeing what happened in it was bizarre. It was jury selection day for a trial starting about 10 days after the arrest, with the defendant's aunt as the prosecuting attorney and the defendant's father as the defense attorney. If Days was going for realism by retiring the judges' chambers, it failed miserably with such a legal setup. And did jury selection even take place with anyone under oath? Nope. Potential jurors just wandered into the courtroom, sat down in the spectator section, and answered some random questions while the judge looked like she was taking a nap. Somehow, and we are still not sure how, the investigative reporter who had been trying to solve the case is an acceptable juror for the inappropriate prosecutor and defense counsel. And you know what? We're just going to roll with it. Because we love Leo, and this insane trial will be much more entertaining because he will be a part of it. Honestly, we really don't care who shot EJ. He is fine now and none the worse for wear, so whoever it is can go about their merry way. At least we get Leo in a jury box, which is always good for a few laughs, and probably even more than a few, 'cause it's Leo. Whoever did it will likely get away with it anyway, or at least be pardoned after a few months in Statesville. Isn't that always the way? EJ can't remember what really happened, Rachel remembers it wrong, and Chanel and Johnny both insist they didn't do it. Then there's Ava, who took off for parts unknown. Sure, she could always return, but there has been no indication that Tamara Braun is returning to Days anytime soon. So, what could make this interesting? Did Rachel actually do this, thinking she was holding a toy gun? Kristen had already warned Rachel Blake about having a gun in a home where a child lived. That would certainly make things more exciting, and also tragic and traumatic, solidifying Rachel as the next Sammy once she's sorest in a year or so. At least Sophia's prowess at Googling and watching YouTube videos while giving birth alone in her bedroom gave us some more enjoyable courtroom moments. Amy was called for jury duty and ran into her very own grandson with fellow summons holder Leo. Amy managed to get herself off the jury by insulting both the defense attorney and the defendant, which was something Leo should have tried. But Amy had too many other things to think about, like ordering her invisible husband, Sam, to drive around Chicago to see if he spotted Sophia. We bet he did it too. However, Sophia was holed up in a hotel room with Melinda watching rom-coms and eating takeout while wearing a fake pregnancy belly around a woman who knew she was no longer pregnant. It didn't make much sense, but we guess we had to roll with it. Soon, Sophia will be back in Salem, claiming she gave birth. So we guess she will remove the stupid belly she doesn't need to be wearing in the first place. Tate will surely be shocked when Sophia appears pregnantless in a few days. But first, he has to rescue Holly, who was supposed to meet him at the lake. Sophia can wait. What he doesn't realize is that Holly and Ari are pretty much okay and taking care of themselves. Yes, some goon kidnapped them and they are kinda scared, but they seem to be pretty on the ball and will figure this out. One person they definitely figured out is Doug III. It's a testament to today's Gen Z girls that they were able to essentially roll their eyes when they learned that they were both kinda sorta involved with Doug, and he was the one who got them into this mess. Instead of heartbreak, Storm and Drang, and sniping at one another, Holly and Ari have pretty much watched that man right out of their hair already. That's how you do it, girls. Live, learn, and move on. As for that necklace that helped get them all into this big ol' mess, well, Gwen is not taking it off, but she is moving into the Dimera mansion, so that will be delicious. Although it would be nice if those diamonds eventually made their way back to Julie and the Horton house. So now Xander has Victoria for what purpose and for what reason? Because Sarah asked his permission to go on vacation? And he can't find a babysitter, so Invisi Toddler is always in the bassinet playpen or stroller lying down, either cooing like an infant or screaming her head off, but miraculously not sitting up and trying to escape. And the fighting over Victoria? Frankly, it's getting old because it's the exact same argument in every episode with repeated dialogue. It sometimes feels like we're watching The Bold and the Beautiful. However, the Gabi twist was unexpected. She is now the unofficial Salem baby whisperer, and oddly now friends with Xander. 50 Shades of Stephanie has a book cover now, and a pen name. Are we excited yet? What will the coming week in Salem bring? Will we ask ourselves what the last 6 months were all about with Doug III's latest move? Probably. So let's find out. Catch all new episodes of Days of Our Lives weekdays on Peacock. Daytime drama is turning up the heat, and July 21st, 25 is set to deliver jaw-dropping twists. From explosive reveals to scandalous secrets, the soaps are pure chaos in the best way. Here's what we're most excited to watch unfold this week. Secrets, secrets, secrets. This town is full of secrets. Unfortunately, one of Ted's is about to come out and ruin his entire life. Nicole sits him down to call him out, and things are sure to spiral from there. Will things between them soon reach a fever pitch? Make sure to tune in to see how this all plays out. Leslie may be down, but she's not out. While her injury should be a liability, she turns it into asset. A huge asset. She uses it to her advantage to get what she wants. Leslie loves getting her hands dirty, and she loves digging for dirt even more. And even more than that, she loves using that dirt to further her agenda. Especially if that agenda means hurting one of her enemies. And this week, she's plotting the takedown of the year. Sheila is mourning her granddaughter, but she's also celebrating surviving Luna. Why celebrate alone when she can check in with the other survivor? She turns up at the Spencer mansion to see Liam and see how he's coming along. Will Liam be open to seeing the she-devil? Let's face it, he's not exactly her biggest fan. In fact, he probably wishes Luna's shot did way more damage to the maniac. Tune in to see how this visit goes. Meanwhile, Nick turns up to see Taylor at the Forrester estate. These former exes have a lot in common and probably a lot to talk about. She's got Ridge locked down and committed to her, and he's trying to do the same with Brooke. Can they keep Ridge and Brooke from slipping back into old habits and chasing their destiny? The search for Holly and Ari kicks into high gear with Tate and Rafe working to uncover any clue and chase any lead. They are well aware the clock is ticking, and they have to find the girls before it's too late. Will they find them in time? Will the ladies manage a great escape? This is a storyline you won't want to miss. Meanwhile, Johnny hits the courtroom as his trial begins. He's an innocent man, but clearing his name is easier said than done. All the evidence points his way, and unless he and EJ can produce the real shooter, Johnny may very well end up behind bars. There was once a time when everyone thought Carly would never have a life outside of Sunny. Well, that was then, and this is now. And now Carly is planning a future with Brennan. The pair sit down to talk about what they truly want when it comes to each other. Will this chat soon lead to some wedding planning? Speaking of weddings, Willow and Drew take a walk down the aisle and prepare to say, "I do." Will they make it through the ceremony, though? Teasers suggest their day will be filled with all sorts of drama. Can we expect a wedding crasher? A shocking confession? A simmering scandal? All that and worse? Drew has Willow wrapped around his finger, but that may change if this party goes completely off the rails. Nick reaches his breaking point with this strange and suspicious overseas adventure, and he wants out. All the way out. Unfortunately, escape isn't going to come easy. His attempt puts him in a dangerous position. So much so, he winds up getting hurt. Badly. Will he succumb to the same attacker as Damien? Meanwhile, we'll see Kane calling out Amanda. He hired the legal eagle and is paying her to be on his side, and loyalty is paramount right now. He suspects she's not playing his game anymore and confronts her in an explosive showdown you won't want to miss. Will this be a breaking point for Amanda? Sure, the money is good, but is it worth all this fuss?